Monkeys are some of the most varied and diverse mammals alive today. Known for their oftentimes arboreal lifestyle and playful nature, these creatures have a long and fascinating history in the fossil record. In today's video, we'll be exploring that history in detail. In order to best understand the evolution of monkeys, however, we must first understand the evolution of their greater order, the primates. During the late Cretaceous, the Earth was ruled by some of the largest and most powerful animals to ever walk the planet, the dinosaurs. But in the background of the reign of the terrible lizards, a new development was taking place among a much smaller group of animals, the mammals. Far below the eye line of the dinosaurs scurried about a small shrew-like animal. But despite appearances, this was no shrew. This was one of the first members of a brand new lineage of mammals, the primates. Molecular studies put the date of birth of this creature anywhere from 70 to 66 million years ago. It would seem then that as iconic creatures such as Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops roamed the Earth, so too did the earliest primates. Following the end Cretaceous extinction, primates continued their evolution. At this time, they'd still look close to their shrew-like ancestors. Purgatorius is the oldest known of these animals, evolving 66 million years ago right after the death of the dinosaurs. This animal is part of a group known as the Plesiadapiforms, and contained many other early primate relatives such as Plesiadapis. There's controversy over the placing of Plesiadapiforms. Some view them as true primates, others see them as ancestral, and others still see them as sister to the line containing primates. Regardless, these animals would have strongly resembled what were at the time the earliest primates. Primates during this time would make advancements, such as abandoning the claws of their earlier ancestors in favor of nails with finger pads, something very much unlike their arboreal contemporaries. These changes can still be seen today in primates like monkeys, and just like with monkeys, these adaptations and others such as highly mobile ankles, shoulders, and hip bones would help these animals easily traverse through the trees. Another point of interest with these primates was their diets. While not carnivorous or even really that omnivorous, these animals set themselves apart by consuming calorie-rich fruits found in trees that they were comparatively far more equipped to explore. This diet would have led to several new developments, most notably an increase in brain size as well as further adaptations to their hands that we've already mentioned before, allowing for better gripping ability when trying to grab onto fruit. By this point, primates were beginning to look more and more like the species we're familiar with today. Their eyes grew to be far larger and forward-facing. They became even smarter, and their faces began to change to be much more rounded compared to the shrews or rodent-like skulls of their ancestors. Shortly after, primates would branch off into two major lines, the Strepsirrhini and the Haplorhini. The Strepsirrhines include animals such as lorises and lemurs. The Haplorhini, on the other hand, is the group that's most relevant to us today. There are several differences in the evolution of Haplorhines that set them apart from the Strepsirrhines. These include possessing shorter faces as opposed to the elongated ones of the Strepsirrhines like lemurs. But the most notable difference is their lack of a rhinarium or wet nose. Instead, their noses are dry and oftentimes covered in hair. One of the animals inside the Haplorhini are the strange-looking tarsiers of Southeast Asia, but today we're going to be zoning in on another group. These are the Simiiforms, which contain all monkeys. These animals evolved towards the end of the Eocene, just as the Earth began to cool. Monkeys built upon the many changes that primates up to this point are developing, and they developed in some more unique ways. For example, they became more and more active during the daytime, as opposed to the nocturnal lifestyle of their ancestors. One of the earliest monkey groups is believed to be Eosimiidae, containing genera such as Eosimias found in China and Myanmar. These monkeys were found to have possessed many characteristics of later monkeys, but also more traits found in their ancestors than other monkey species around the late Oligocene and early Oligocene, such as their dentition that was more primitive compared to other monkeys. Prior to the discovery of primates such as Eosimias, it was thought that monkeys had evolved in or around Africa. This discovery changed the viewpoints of many researchers on that fact. While primates were present on continents such as North America, Europe, and Asia for millions of years, this is the closest we have to the true origin of monkeys on one of the northern continents during the Eocene. Alongside the Eosimiidae, there were some older lines of monkeys as well. These include the Parapithecidae, containing Apitium found in the Egyptian Fayum fossil sites. But these early groups, while certainly monkeys, were still not the lines of monkeys that are present with us today. But before we continue, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. You know, despite me discussing a lot of complex and deep subject matter in this video, I'm kind of an idiot in real life. That's why I'm happy to introduce today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant offers a variety of courses in fields such as science, mathematics, and computer science. It differs from a lot of other online teaching resources out there by presenting users with fun, interactive scenarios to help learn their desired subjects. Right now, I'm enrolled in the logic and number theory courses and plan to start Brilliant's courses on quantum mechanics soon after. There's also a ton of great courses for people still in school.
It has courses in physics, calculus, and even courses to help prepare for competition math. Back when I was in high school, I took the American Math Competition test, and every year I took it, I failed it, like really, really badly. If I had a source like Brilliant back then, I'm sure I would have done much, much better. Brilliant is completely free to sign up and try, and if you like it, the first 200 people that subscribe using my link will get a 20% discount off an annual membership.
Around 40 million years ago, monkeys saw perhaps their most significant branch in their evolution. The simiiform split off into two groups, the Catarrhini, also known as the Old World monkeys, as well as the Platyrrhini, the New World monkeys. Platyrrhines set themselves apart from their Old World counterparts in several ways, but the most notable difference is in the structure of their noses. New World monkeys have flatter noses with nostrils that point out towards the sides. In addition, they also have an additional premolar tooth as well as prehensile tails that can grab onto branches, aiding in movement. But aside from anatomy, the thing that sets the New World monkeys most apart is just that, their location. These monkeys are found exclusively in South and Central America. As we've mentioned, the earliest primates had a presence in North America, but that continent only connected with South America during the Pliocene. Despite that, there's fossil evidence of platyrrhines in South America as far back as the Oligocene. How then did these monkeys reach this continent? It's speculated that the ancestors of the first New World monkeys who came from Africa managed to reach South America via rafting on masses of vegetation that floated in the Atlantic Ocean. This type of travel seems near impossible at a glance. After all, there are so many different conditions that could mess up travel. Lack of food on the rafts, bad weather, turbulent waters, and so on. But we're looking at a span of millions upon millions of years. It's likely that potential rafting attempts had taken place and failed countless numbers of times before monkeys finally reached the New World. To be fair, the Atlantic was not as wide as it was today, and the monkeys could have made stops at several now submerged intermediary islands. One interesting point to take into account was that some of the earliest rafters, such as Укаилopithecus, that were found in South America dating back over 30 million years ago, were part of the Parapithecidae grouping. As we've mentioned before, Parapithecidae was home to monkeys such as Apitium, but the closest relative of Укаилopithecus was another monkey by the name of Catarrhania. But there was something strange that scientists found when comparing the teeth of one Egyptian monkey at the time to the Peruvian Укаилopithecus teeth, and then another Egyptian monkey with a different tooth structure to Argentinian monkeys from both that time period as well as from today. In both groups of teeth, they all showed strong similarities to one another, but both groups showed major differences when put together. What this likely means is that there was more than one successful rafting event of monkeys to South America, and that it was the second one that likely gave us the New World monkeys we know of today. Today, Platyrrhini consists of 5 families. We covered these in my Evolution of Mammals video, but I'll be reiterating those points here again. Callitrichidae contains the smallest of all monkeys in the marmosets and tamarins, the Cebidae contains squirrel monkeys and capuchins, the Aoididae contains owl monkeys, the Pithecidae contains titis, sakis, and uakaris, and the Atellidae contains monkeys such as the howler, spider, and woolly monkeys. The isolation of these New World species has led to some of the strangest looking monkeys on Earth. There are bald-headed monkeys, bearded monkeys, and monkeys with giant mustaches. The Old World monkeys we know of today, grouped under Catarrhini, are part of a separate sister lineage to groups such as Parapithecidae. Unlike the New World monkeys, the Old World monkeys only have one family, Cercopithecidae, but this family has a wide variety of monkeys inside it. This includes the largest monkeys and the mandrills and baboons, the macaques, the snub-nosed monkeys, the langurs, colobus monkeys, and everything in between. These monkeys can be found in Africa and Asia, with one species, the Barbary macaque, being found as north as the tip of Spain. The Catarrhini is also notable in that it contains the apes. This means that all apes evolved from Old World monkeys, with the oldest ape in the fossil record, Proconsul, having evolved around 28 million years ago. The great variety of monkeys we see both in the fossil record and in our world today is a true testament to their adaptability and versatility that they've shown time and time again. They have set themselves apart from other mammals and branched out into niches that they truly made their own. They're a staple of Earth's mammalian fauna, and it's hard to imagine any rainforest or jungle setting today without these iconic primates.